same day, a lively discussion took place in Denisov's rooms between some of the officers of the squadron. "But I tell you, Rostov, that it's your business to apologize to the regimental commander," said the second captain, a tall man with grayish hair, enormous mustache, and powerful wrinkled features. Captain Kirsten had twice been reduced to the ranks for affairs of honor, and twice promoted again. "I will not allow anyone to call me a liar," cried Rostov, who flushed crimson and was in a great state of excitement. "He told me that I lied, and I told him that he lied, and there the matter rests. He may keep me on duty every day. He may put me under arrest, but neither he nor anyone else can force me to apologize. If he, as regimental commander, considers it improper to give me satisfaction, then—" Yes, calm yourself, Batiushka. Listen to me," interrupted Captain Kirsten, in his deep, bass voice, calmly twirling his mustaches. "You told the regimental commander, in the presence of other officers, that an officer had stolen." "It wasn't my fault that the conversation took place before other officers. Maybe it was not best to have spoken before them, but I am not a diplomat. That is why I joined the Hussars. I thought that here, at least, such fine distinctions were not necessary. And he told me that I lied. Let him give me satisfaction, then." "That's all very good. No one thinks that you are a coward, but that isn't the point. Ask Denisov. Put it to anyone, if a yunker can demand satisfaction of his regimental commander." Denisov, chewing his mustache, was listening to the discussion with a gloomy expression of countenance, evidently not wishing to take any part in it. In reply to the captain's question, he shook his head. "In the presence of other officers, you spoke to the regimental commander about this rascality," continued the second captain. "Bogdanuitch," so the regimental commander was called, "Bogdanuitch shut you up." "He did not shut me up. He told me that I was lying." "Well, have it so. But you were saying foolish things to him and you ought to apologize." "Not for the world!" cried Rostov. "I did not think that of you," said the captain, seriously and sternly. "You are unwilling to apologize, and yet, Batiushka, you are in fault, not only towards him, but towards the whole regiment, towards all of us. This is the way of it. If you had only thought, if you had only taken advice as to how to move in this matter, but no, you out with it, right before other officers too. Well, then, what can the regimental commander do? Must he bring the other officer before a court-martial and disgrace the whole regiment? Insult the whole regiment on account of a single rogue? Is that your idea of it? Well, it isn't ours. And Bogdanuitch was a brave fellow. He told you that you were not telling the truth. Disagreeable, but what else could he do? You found your match, and now, when we want to hush it up, you, out of sheer obstinacy and pride, aren't willing to apologize, but want to have everybody know about it. You are offended because you are put on extra duty, because you are required to apologize to an old and honored officer. Even if it were not Bogdanuitch, our honorable and brave old colonel, even then you would be offended and would be willing to insult the whole regiment, would you?" The captain's voice began to tremble. "Yes, Batiushka, you, who will perhaps not be in the regiment a year from now, today here, tomorrow transferred somewhere as adjutant. You don't care a fig if it is said 'thieves' in the Pavlograd regiment, but it isn't all the same to us. What do you say, Denisov? It isn't a matter of indifference, is it?" Denisov had kept silent all the time, and did not move, though he occasionally glanced at Rostov from his brilliant black eyes. "Your pride is so dear to you that you aren't willing to apologize," continued the captain. "We old men who have grown up, and are going to die, if God grant it, in the regiment, guard its honor dearly. And Bogdanuitch knows it. Oh, how we love it, Batiushka! And this is not good of you, not good at all. Get mad if you please, but I shall always stick to mother truth. You're all wrong. and the captain got up and turned his back on Rostov. "White, devil take it!" screamed Denísov, jumping up. "Now then, Wostov, now then!" Rostov, flushing, turned pale, looked first at one and then at the other officer. "No, gentlemen, no, you do not think. I see that you are perfectly mistaken in your opinion of me. For my own sake, for the honor of the regiment, what am I saying? And I will prove it. Yes, for my own sake and the honor of the regiment. Well, it's all the same. You're right. I was to blame." Tears stood in his eyes. "I was to blame all around. Now what more do you want?" "That's the way to do it," cried the captain, turning round and slapping him on the shoulder with his big hand. "I tell you," cried Denísov, "he's a glorious young fellow." "That's the best way, Count," repeated the captain, as though the giving him his title made his words more emphatic. "Go and apologize, your illustriousness, that's it." "Gentlemen, I won't do anything. No one shall ever hear another word from me," declared Rostov in a low, supplicating voice. "But I cannot apologize, by heavens, I cannot. How can you expect it? How can I apologize like a little schoolboy begging forgiveness?" Denísov laughed. "So much the worse for you. Bogdanuitch is spiteful. You will pay for your stubbornness," said Kirsten. "By God, 'tis not stubbornness. I cannot describe every feeling for you. I assure you, I cannot." "Well, do just as you please," said the captain. "By the way, where is this worthless scamp?" asked he of Denísov. "He reported himself ill. He's to be struck off the list in tomorrow's orders," replied Denísov. "Well, it's a kind of illness. There's no other way of explaining it," said the captain. "Whether illness or not, he'd better not come into my sight. I'd kill him," cried Denísov in a most bloodthirsty manner. At this instant Zherkov came into the room. "What are you doing here?" demanded the officer, turning to the newcomer. "An expedition, gentlemen. Mack and his army have surrendered. It's all up with them." "What a story! I saw him myself." "What? You saw Mack alive, with his hands and his feet? An expedition! An expedition! Give him a bottle for bringing such news. But how came you here?" "I am sent back to my regiment on account of that devil of a Mack. The Austrian general complained of me. I congratulated him on Mack's arrival. How are you, Rostov? Just out of a bath?" "My dear boy, we've been having such a stew here, these 2 days." The regimental adjutant came in and confirmed the news brought by Zherkov. The regiment was ordered to break camp the next day. "An expedition, gentlemen." "Well, glory to God for that. No more inaction." End of chapter 5.